Hello, I'm Liviu Bălan, and today I will speak about a personal project of mine named liviubălan.com. So, what is liviubălan.com? Started as a personal blog in November 2010, and being at the second version, liviubălan.com is a learning ecosystem. It features a YouTube channel, a website, a GitHub repository, and a profile on several social networks. Let's talk a little about each of these parts. First, the YouTube channel. You can find it on youtube.com/user/liviubălan85. Here you can watch video tutorials sorted by various criteria such as data added or most popular, or you can check out the playlist that I've created for you. The resources here are grouped by the dominant technology. You will quickly see that all of my video tutorials are following the basic principle, incremental development. So you will start to learn open source web technologies. I will show you how to transform your PC into a free virtual server. I will explain what a real-life web application is and how to manage a large number of concurrent requests. By doing all these things, you will learn how to become a professional web developer. Here, all of my video tutorials are following a pattern. The pattern looks like the dominant technology, followed by a space, title, space, hash sign, and then a number. For example, Vagrant multi-machine hash sign 115. Now, all you have to remember is that all of my video tutorials are following this pattern. You will find this pattern really useful if you use my GitHub repository project. But for now, you will have to remember that this pattern is applied to all of my tutorials and the counting starts from 1. Now, let's talk about liviubălan.com website. You can find it on www.liviubălan.com, and here on my website you'd have the post Notion. Like on a blog post, a post here on my website contains an embedded video, a brief description, the code used during the tutorial, and useful references. If you want, this post on my website is an extension of the video tutorial that you can find on YouTube, because you can watch the video tutorial, but maybe you want to experiment with this video tutorial, so you will need the code and useful references if you want to study more about a specific technology. On my website, you can search for a specific tutorial title, tag, publishing date, or you can follow all the tutorials sequentially. From here, from my website, you can go to several social networks profile, such as GitHub, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. Now, let's talk about the third part of liviubălan.com ecosystem, which is the GitHub repository. You can find this repository on github.com/liviubălan/liviubălan.com-vagrant-ubuntu. By using this GitHub repository project, you can follow along with me from a certain point ahead. You can create an automated up-to-date virtual environment in a few minutes, and all you have to do is to use only 3 technologies, which are Git, VirtualBox, and Vagrant. What you have to remember is that this project is platform independent, so you can use it even if you're using Linux, Windows, or Mac OS. If you are a beginner in using Git, VirtualBox, or Vagrant, there's no problem, because I've already made tutorials not only for only these 3 technologies, but also for livyubalan.com-vegan-ubuntu, GitHub repository also. So even if you are an experienced web developer, or if you are a novice, you can check out the GitHub repository with no problem. Okay, the last part of my livyubalan.com ecosystem is the social networks. You can find my profile on YouTube, GitHub, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. Or if you want to stay in touch with my latest updates on livyubalan.com, you can check out my RSS feed. By using this social network profile, you can get in touch with me if you have any questions, or we can start a collaborative project, or we can continue an already created one in order to improve the tutorial works. Okay, now that you know what livyubalan.com is, you may ask yourself, why should you use it? You may want to use livyubalan.com if you are in at least one of the following situations. You want someone to guide your steps on how to become a web developer. You want to experiment with free and open source software. You want to understand how an operating system works and what makes it a server. You want to learn how to code, or you want free and impartial tutorials. If one of these points here is answered by you, you already answered to the question why should you use livyubalan.com. Okay, now you know what livyubalan.com is and why should you use it. And you may ask yourself, what is with this outfit? This is a form of respect for the people who believe in me and taught me how to scale. Currently, I'm a web developer on eMag, and the picture here is a symbol for the last Black Friday in Romania. If you don't know what eMag is the biggest online shop in Central and Eastern Europe. It is one of the e-commerce creators in Romania, and according to Alexa.com, in March 2016, it was the 8th website in Romania. You may want to check out eMag into your country, and at the moment of making this recording, eMag can be found on emag.ro, emag.bg, or emag.hu. Now that you know what eMag is, you may ask yourself what I'm doing there. Currently, I'm a web developer and I'm responsible with the mobile and web platforms. In about 1 year since I'm there, you may already saw my work without even knowing. From small fixes and improvements to large projects such as wishlist, online payment, insurances, brand pages, same-day delivery, MSI responsive design, cross-browser implementation, and more. So, if you want to see a part of my work, you can check out eMag into your country. Now you know what livyubalan.com is, why should you use it, you know a little about me and my work, and if you want to learn more about me, about web technologies, you can check out livyubalan.com, or you can find my profile on the social networks that I previously told you: YouTube, GitHub, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and also check out my RSS feeds. So this is livyubalan.com. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.